How are you doing today, guys? I trust you are doing so well. The foundation of what we experience today as an individual, as a society, as a government, as a religion, okay, is based on what we've celebrated in the past. Okay? We have celebrated the result we have today, either consciously or unconsciously in the past. As I often say, that there is no lack of job, but there is lack of what is being celebrated with respect to job, with respect to our government, with respect to our religion. There is no lack of job, but there is lack of what is being celebrated. While we were growing up, the reason why we decided, one of the reasons why I went into medical school, why I went into medical field, is based on what is being celebrated at that time. Every family wants their children to be in the medical space. But the question is, who told you, assuming the mechanic, okay, or carpentry work is being celebrated then? Who told you a lot of people will not move into carpentry? Who told you that who told you carpentry is not a way in which you can make a living, you can create a legacy? Who told you music is the only way in which you can make a legacy? Okay, all this is based on what is being celebrated, what we've celebrated in our society. Okay, who told you a particular set of people are only the set of people who can be in the political class? Okay, all these things boils down to what is being celebrated. And if government can look for a way, if individuals can look for a way, if the society can look for a way in which we can celebrate people like mechanics, like plumbers, okay, like electricians, like carpenters, there is going a lot of people will divert their energy, their mindset, their mind into creating things that has to do with these skills, with this job. So I believe that we need to focus on things that we need to celebrate so that we can have a lot of job options. Okay, see, until we understand that what we celebrate, okay, what we do is also a business aspect of whatever we do. What I mean is, until we understand that celebrating what we do is also a business aspect of whatever we do. For example, if you are opportune to enter a public bus in Nigeria, okay, most mechanics find it so difficult. If you are sitting down beside a mechanic, there is an attitude, there is a way you react to them. But abroad, it's not so. It will be an opportunity for you to stand beside a mechanic, beside a janitor, beside a plumber, because they are being celebrated. Okay, so I don't believe that there is, as far as Nigeria is concerned, as far as Africa is concerned, I do not believe that there is lack of job, but lack of what is being celebrated. As a mechanic, as a carpenter, as a plumber, to celebrate what you are doing, you might not be able to attract more investors and buyers. That is why you need to put more energy into celebrating what you are doing. And the government, in one way or the other, should look out for a way in which they can collaborate with these people, okay, in order for what they are doing can be celebrated. Let me share a story with you. There is a mechanic workshop I always go to repair my car. And there is a young boy, a very young boy. That boy should be between 13 to 15 years old. Okay, he's very active with with what he's learning with respect to the mechanic job skill. Now, suddenly after some time, I realized that I'm not seeing this guy, this young boy, in that mechanical shop. So one day I was driving towards Lekki, and I saw some boys around me. They were trying to, all these agro boys, all these, they were just trying to say, okay, hey, Baba, sort me, find something. When I wind down my glass, I saw that very young mechanic boy that was active at that mechanic store. And I asked him, "What are you doing here?" He said, "No, sir." He said, "Sir," he said, "Me, I want to become big man. I want to become a strong man." I now told him, I now asked him, sorry, who told you can't become a big man through being a mechanic? He started mentioning the names of some guys, some men who are into the same field that he's trying to move, the same field that he's moving into. The reason is because those people are being celebrated. The mechanics are not being celebrated. And because those people are being celebrated, he believes that there is going to be more opportunity with respect to the new field, with respect to the new job, new skill that he wants to acquire by being an agro. Okay, so that is why I so much believe that there is no lack of job, but lack of work is being celebrated. The same thing applies to what we celebrate in our society, in our family, in our life. The fact remains that people get attracted to what is being celebrated. But where the mistake lies is we need to look at what are the mistakes with what we celebrate. I've realized that in our society, we celebrate money but not value. Let me repeat myself. We celebrate money but not value. We celebrate profit but not process. We celebrate lifestyles and not character and integrity. And that is why we keep replicating the same kind of bad leaders. We celebrate fame and not the foundation. A lot of times we are not concerned about the foundation of the person that we are celebrating. We celebrate fame and not foundation. That is why you hear this popular saying that when you were poor, did EFCC come and find out what is the source of your poverty? But now that you are wealthy, they want to come and find out the source of your wealth. The source of your wealth needs to be found out. The source of your wealth needs to be looked into. And the reason is because we need to start celebrating values and not just money. Let me share a personal story with you. This has to do with me. Okay, while we were growing up, I was raised in a moderate family. My mom is a teacher. My dad was a government worker. Okay, and because of the uniqueness of my name, Abiola is included in my name. So because of that, I'm a great fan of MKO Abiola. Because I'm a great fan of MKO Abiola, that always pushed me. I always think of how can I make money? How can I become MKO Abiola? So my parents said, okay, because I did so well in my science subjects, and because of that, okay, I said, okay, I want to go into medical field. And there is like a bros in our society that is a medical doctor too. He went into University of Benin as a medical doctor. So outside that, I have like two of them who I see as my mentor. I don't have a very close relationship with them, but I see them from afar. So I always see them as my mentor. One is into computer and the other one is a medical doctor. those were the reasons why I decided that even when I wanted, when we finished filling my dad finished filling my jam form. It was at jam office because my dad picked University of Ilorin for me. But because of the love I have for this process, at jam office was where I changed my University of Ilorin to University of Benin. So on getting to University of Benin, I was admitted as an optometry student to University of Benin. So the journey started. So along the line, I realized that I have a lot of friends, young guys, young boys who were in school, jambite. We all moved together. But seriously, I doesn't have passion for that optometry because my mindset has always been, how can I become a billionaire? How can I make money like MPO Abiola? So in the course of that, based on the kind of family I was brought up, there is a way we were raised. There is a mindset. We have this mindset that if you should do anything evil, God will kill you. That is how my parents trained us. So anything evil, I try as much as possible to avoid anything that has to do with evil. And based on the society we were raised up, we have several people that are not building the right value with respect to the standard value. So our parents always use those people as an example with respect to what evil can replicate, what the replication of evil. Okay, so while I was in university, I have a lot. That was when Yahoo just came up. Yahoo just started when I entered university, and I have a lot of guys, my hostel mates, who are into that business. But based on the way I was brought up, based on the mindset that my parents have infiltrated me with, I looked at what can I do. I love these guys, they are my friends, but I want to be enjoying the same kind of life that they are enjoying. I'm not, I want to try as much as, even though I'm facing my study, I still want to be enjoying, I still want to be having that lifestyle. So I decided that, okay, let me start selling shoes, wristwatch. Yes, that was when we were selling IWC, all those wristwatches then. Okay, Brett Lane, yes, Brett Lane, etc., etc. So the money I made, the money I have, I decided to come to Lagos to come and buy a wristwatch and start selling. But unfortunately, I was robbed in Lagos and I was left with nothing. I even have to call, I find a way to call one or two friends to send me money that I need to use in coming in from going back to Benin. So getting back to Benin, I was stranded, but I was looking for something that I can do, that can supplement, that can assist me, that can support my schooling, my lifestyle. So I wasn't seeing anything. Now my savings have been stolen from me. I've lost my savings. What do I need to do? So because of this, I have no choice. Those guys, those my friends, they when they are going out, they go out, they hang out, they date the biggest and the most beautiful girl in our school then. So I looked at, well, what can I do? So it's like courtesan them. They will keep luring you, they keep telling you, guy man, you are dulling, this one, that one. So one day I had no choice. I now looked at, okay, what is even this thing that you guys are doing? How can I venture into it? And I said, they said, it's not hard. That was how I started. I joined them into doing Yahoo. Okay, because that is the only thing that was being celebrated then. It was the only thing. The big boys you see, the big guys you see, that is what they do. That is, if you want to drive car in school, you want to have alternative businesses in school, that is how you can raise the money. So that is why when I saw that young man, that mechanic guy, that was going the wrong direction based on what is being celebrated, I remember my upbringing. So one of my friends volunteered. He said, "Don't worry, I will give you the money to start. Okay, I know you are very smart. I know you are very good." So when he invested the money on Friday, I went into cafe on Friday. On Monday, I made money from the business. I said, what? Is this how this thing works? So, but along the line, while doing it, there was a day a guy abused me. He abused my mom So when he abused my mom, I was like, what? How is this guy? Who is this guy? How will he be abusing one of my clients? We call them Maga then. How will this guy be abusing my mom? I said, no, I'm not doing. Because my mom was so important to me. I said, no, I'm not doing. How will this guy be insulting my mom? So I quitted. So when I quitted, I exhausted that money. When I exhausted that money, then my dad was having issue with his job. So money was not flowing to me from my parents. So I lost after exhausting that money. I have no choice. Those my guys they were still living their good life. Okay, they were still living their good life based on that time and condition. So along the line, I looked at it, what how can I balance myself with respect to this Yahoo business and my school? Okay, how do I pay my house rent? How do I live the kind of life so that I can focus on my studies? I now took a decision that okay, during the holidays, I will do Yahoo with these guys in order for me to make money, in order for me to be able to sort my school. And I had a big vision of traveling out of the country. Okay, based on that, my bro that I told you was a computer. That guy, after when he got to 300 level, he traveled out of Nigeria. He went to UK to further his studies. So that was the pattern I was following. But my parents does not have the resources to back me up. But that was the dream. That was the vision. So I started doing my the Yahoo business during the weekend. During my holidays, okay, while I go to school. To be sincere with you, a lot of my friends who were just focused, who were just doing that business, a lot of them didn't graduate. But luckily for me, I was able to graduate because I planned myself. But to cut the long story short, when I achieved the aim of traveling abroad, I got admission into a university in the United States of America. I was given my visa, I was given everything, okay, for me to travel. But the person that helped me to process the admission over there just decided that it's not going to release my document to me, my traveling document. That was how I lost that admission. That was why I couldn't make it to the United States. Okay, so to cut the long story short, one day, based on I was now reflecting on my life that what could be the reason why is my life like this? Despite I'm trying my best, despite I'm trying everything in order for me to achieve this vision. So I now went to one of my exes, my girlfriend. Then she was my girlfriend, and I went to her house in DGC. So if she's listening to it, if she's watching this video, she will understand what I went through that time. So I now saw I now saw some of her friends just came. Those girls, they just came back from what we call World of Faith Bible Institute, which is WOBI. That WOBI is being handled by Living Faith Church, Winners Chapel. So those ladies were just discussing that, the WOBI we went to, that this is what happened. There are some guys, big boys, they came to meet the pastor, and they were trying to work on their foundation because of what they are experiencing with respect to the present life, based on the foundation, based on what they've done in the past. That word struck me. The lady now went further. She now said, the pastor now said, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? We are in VGC, we are enjoying. Okay, but that word struck me. That was why I said, we celebrate fame, but we don't look into foundations. That statement that lady made struck me, and that was the beginning of my change. That was the beginning of the change of my life. So I now looked at that. I believe that everything that is happening to me, all these negative, all this setback, all this bad luck that I'm experiencing now, was based on the wrong foundation of me involving myself in the whole business. That was how, first thing I did was I separated myself, my relationship from that lady, that my girlfriend then. I said, no, I'm not going to. I can't continue with you because I went to that church too. And this is a church that my family, my parents, my dad, my mom was the one who introduced us into this church. But because of the kind of person I am, whenever I'm doing Yahoo business then, I find it so difficult to kneel down and pray to God because of what my parents have instigated, what the kind of mindset they've built us with. So because of that, I always run away from anything that has to do with God, anything that has to do with church. Okay, so when this thing happened, I now said, oh, I need to go back to God and go and work on my foundation now, so that I can start rebuilding as soon as possible. That was what led to my becoming born again. A lot of my friends, they never knew. They just, so I separated my friend from a lot of my friends. I separated myself from my girlfriends. Everybody, I now decided, luckily for me, that period was when they were trying to do their foundation. They were trying to do their 21 days prayer and fasting. That was how I continued. This my girlfriend then, because of the love, because of the vision, because of the kind of person I am. You know, I separated myself and I was doing 21 days prayer and fasting. She find me. She decided to come and visit me in that church. Then, but that was the beginning of my change of story. That was the beginning of how I decided to go and serve, which I've shared in my previous videos. Okay, so we need to stop celebrating fame, and we need to start celebrating the foundation. What is the foundation? What is the foundation of this character, of this personality is built on? Okay, the fact remains that the end result of doing it right, or doing it the right way, or the end result of doing it the wrong way, is based on who you become. And who you become is basically anchored on your character. I believe you guys are learning something. I'm not doing this video in order to castigate those who have already made mistakes. Okay, but I'm doing this in order for us to build the right society, and value is the foundation of it. Okay, a lot of the leaders we have today, if you look down, if you do research deep down into how they started, see, the Bible says that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Okay, whatever we are achieving, whatever kind of leader that we have today, is based on their foundation, is based on their character. Okay, as I often say, we have billionaires who still have poverty mindsets. Okay, and that is why you will see some people, how one human being make 70 billion naira or 80 billion naira, and instead of him to use that money to invest in university, in a school, not even university, a school that other children can come into that school, and those children and his own children, they can grow together. But you decided to go and invest that money, that huge amount of money, into your own children's life. That is poverty mindset. Wealth mindset will not go that route, because wealth mindset has to do with how do you use, as I've discussed in my pile of money into rivers of money. That pile of money is supposed to be diverted, is supposed to be invested into rivers of money. Okay, and we need to keep sharing things. The government needs to keep looking into values, into celebrating values, if we are not going to create a corrupt society, a corrupt leaders tomorrow. Okay, so why do we need to? What are the reasons why we need to be very intentional, very sensitive with respect to what we celebrate? Okay, we need, just like I said at the beginning of this video, if we keep celebrating plumbers, if we keep celebrating furnishers, which is carpenter, if we keep celebrating mechanics, okay, what do you think will happen to people? Okay, people, what do you think will happen to our citizens? Okay, our citizens, a lot of them will divert their attention into that aspect of business, but because they are being relegated, because they are being looked down on, okay, because they are not being celebrated, people tend to move into things that are being celebrated. And see, research proves that there are hormones that enhances creativity when you are being celebrated. Okay, let me repeat myself. I said research proves that There are hormones that enhances creativity when you are being celebrated, when your job is being celebrated, when your skill is being celebrated. That is why when you see a little child and the little child do so well and you celebrate that child, the child tends to create to be creative. Okay, and these hormones are being celebrated, that this hormone that instigates creativity, that comes from celebration. Some of these hormones I want to share with us, okay, so that we can pay so much attention into things that we celebrate. There are things that we celebrate, but knowingly, and as I said, consciously and unconsciously, they bet the result that we have today. What are the hormones? Hormones such as hormones like dopamine. Okay, when you are being celebrated, your dopamine hormone is being fired up, is being triggered. Okay, if this hormone is what we call feeling good hormone. Okay, it's a neurotransmitter. Okay, this is a neurotransmitter. It energizes you, it helps you to be creative. Imagine we celebrate people into who are mechanics, who are furnishers, who are carpenters. A lot of people will go into that space, and that will lead to creativity due to their dopamine hormone being instigated, being pushed. Okay, other hormones are serotonin. Serotonin, okay, is a neurotransmitter that contributes to feeling of well of feelings of happiness, yes, well-being and happiness. Okay, serotonin is the hormone that enhances happiness, and when you are happy with what you are doing, you tend to be creative with what you are doing. Likewise, number 3 is oxytocin. Okay, oxytocin is known as bonding hormone. When you have, because of your oxytocin that is being instigated, that is being pushed, okay, that when you are being celebrated, you tend to have bond. You have to bond. You knowingly or unknowingly get bonded with what you are doing. You are so into what you are doing. Another is endorphins. Okay, this is natural painkillers. Take it or leave it. In life, even I as an entrepreneur, even I as a real estate consultant and developer, I face a lot of things, a lot of urges with respect to life. I believe this hormone, this endorphins, is why we are being consistent. Okay, why we are being consistent, why despite every barrier, we keep moving on. I believe that this hormone, this endorphin, is the energy behind we being resilient as as an entrepreneur, because we are being celebrated. What you are doing, you are being celebrated in one way or the other personally. Okay, likewise adrenaline. Okay, adrenaline is known as is it epi yes, it's epinephrine. Okay, it increases your alertness, it increases your energy. Okay, it increases your potentially enhancing creativity performance. Okay, this is the responsibility of adrenaline. Okay, it stimulates events like celebration. When you are happy, when you are being celebrated, your adrenaline keep increases, and all these things leads to creativity. Likewise, finally, is cortisol. Okay, that cortisol, it helps you to handle stress. Okay, it's a stress hormone. Okay, so the government, the society, our religions, our entrepreneurs, okay, our leaders, we need to try as much as possible to celebrate some people. As I've said, I don't believe that there is lack of job, but there is lack of what is being celebrated. There is lack of job that is being celebrated. As I've shared with you from the beginning, when I told you about my own personal life, my parents want me to become a medical doctor because that was what was being celebrated at that time. Okay, and because of that, you see a lot in every family. It is a must that you have a medical doctor. Okay, because that is what is being celebrated, and that is why you see in the world today a lot of Nigerians, those who are outside the country, who are medical doctors, they are doing excellently well because of that mindset because of those six hormones, the dopamine, the serotonin, the oxytocins, the endorphins, yes, the endorphins, the adrenaline, and cortisol. Okay, those things instigate you to be creative with respect to what you want to become. Likewise, the young man, the young mechanic guy that I share with you, who because he doesn't see future in being a mechanic, he decided to move into becoming a tout, an agbero, okay, because he made mention of people who are being celebrated, who has plenty followers on social media. Okay, so please, we need to look beyond celebrating just money. We need to celebrate values. Okay, we need to look beyond celebrating fame, and we need to celebrate. Celebrate foundation. It is not wrong if people wants to look into they want to know your source of wealth, okay, and they are not ready to know your source of poverty, as you commonly say that when I was poor, who came to find out the source of my poverty? But now that I'm ready, they want to look into the source of my wealth. It is not wrong. The reason why we are doing this, all these things needs to be appreciated, needs to be done in order for us to create a right community, a right government. As I often say, the problem of Nigeria is not just leadership. The problem of Nigeria is based on followership, and the reason is they are not patriotic to our country. When you see an American guy, you see the way they talk about their country. Okay, so please try as much as possible to share this video. It's an educative video. This video is based on the love I have for my country. Okay, and it's not the other way around. I want the best for Nigeria, and I'm trying as much as possible to give the best to Nigeria. And if there is a way, if the government are ready, I have ideas, I have ways in which we can bring all these things, with respect to celebrating these people, into reality. I'm willing to collaborate with you. I'm willing to work with the government, any state. I'm willing to work with you. I believe we've all learned something. Please, if you have learned something, share this video. Okay? And till you hear from me again. Bye.